GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening. Our mayor just laid out his 3 priorities: housing, mobility, and public safety ahead of the upcoming election, while 2 Air Canada staff were detained in a drug probe at the airport. Traffic's clear and the chamber spotlight shines on Good Food's creditor protection filing. Emma, what do you make of that?
It's funny how the GMNA gift shop feels like a cozy corner, offering just 2 mugs right now, but those mugs are already sparking conversation across the city.
You can grab one of those mugs online at shop.gmna.ca, where the tiny storefront runs on quick e-com, making checkout as easy as a latte.
And while the mug lineup stays tiny, the apparel collection is quietly growing. Expect fresh designs soon, because even a 2-item shop can dream big and look stylish.
Small but spirited, the GMNA gift shop shows we don't need shelves full of stuff to share pride. Lots to get to, let's begin. Here are our top stories. Mayor Soria Martinez Ferrada outlined 3 priority areas: homelessness and housing, infrastructure and mobility, and public safety, as she urges the incoming Quebec government to act before the election campaign begins tomorrow. Colette Barbeau has the full story.
From City Hall, Mayor Soria Martinez Ferrada laid out the 3 pillars she wants the next Quebec government to tackle. First, she called for a coordinated plan to expand affordable housing and reduce street homelessness, urging the province to fund rapid response shelters and long-term construction. Second, she urged investment in transit upgrades, road repairs, and bike lane networks to ease congestion and improve mobility across the island. Third, she pressed for additional resources for police and community safety programs to address rising concerns. With the provincial election campaign kicking off tomorrow, municipal leaders are using this moment to push their agenda and seek concrete commitments from incoming officials. Colette Barbeau, GMNA News, Montreal. 2 Air Canada employees have been detained today as part of a Royal Canadian Mounted Police drug investigation focused on the Dorval Airport and nearby areas. Police obtained search warrants for 2 homes, seized a vehicle, and entered the airline's work base in Dorval. Officials said the arrests are tied to a broader narcotics probe across the greater Montreal region. The RCMP has not disclosed the type of substances involved or identified additional suspects. Both employees remain in custody while investigators review evidence gathered at the sites. The 2 residences were located in adjacent boroughs, and the seized car was found parked on an airport service road. Law enforcement leaders stressed the operation is an ongoing effort to disrupt drug networks in the area. Airport operations continue without interruption, though security presence has been heightened.
Police have moved into Griffintown this morning as part of a coordinated operation to dismantle an alleged synthetic drug laboratory. Officers from the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal arrived at a warehouse on the waterfront, sealing off the block and deploying bomb squads to secure hazardous chemicals. Investigators say the site was identified after a series of intelligence tips linking it to a network of clandestine labs that have plagued the city in recent months. Residents heard sirens and saw a line of emergency vehicles, while officers began searching the premises for equipment, precursor substances, and any individuals present. The raid remains underway, with officials warning that the investigation could expand if further connections are uncovered. Police have not released an estimate of arrests or seizures at this stage.
Longtime NDP MP Alexander Boulris announced his resignation after 15 years in Ottawa to run as an independent candidate in the upcoming Quebec provincial election. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
Alexander Boulris has formally stepped down from his seat in the House of Commons after 15 years representing the riding. The former New Democratic Party MP left the party caucus earlier this year, sat as an independent for several months, and now announces his resignation to run as a candidate in the upcoming Quebec provincial election. Boulris said the decision reflects his desire to bring his federal experience to the provincial arena. His departure triggers a by-election in his former riding, while the NDP will need to select a new candidate for the next federal contest. The move adds another well-known name to the slate of provincial hopefuls in the race for seats across Quebec. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Montreal.
Former Quebec Liberal leader Pablo Rodriguez told reporters today that two separate inquiries into the vote-buying allegations raised during his leadership campaign have found no evidence of misconduct. The investigations, launched shortly after the campaign and concluded earlier this week, examined financial records, donor lists, and polling data. Rodriguez, who stepped down as party head 6 months after being elected amid the accusations, emphasized that the findings clear his name and restore confidence in the Liberal Party's internal processes. He added that he remains committed to the Liberal cause and will support the new leadership. The inquiries conducted by the Provincial Electoral Authority and an independent ethics commission were carried out in Montreal and involved cooperation from campaign staff and party officials. Both probes under the Quebec Election Act examined the same financial transactions and arrived at conclusions. Findings were released to public Wednesday and filed with Provincial Ethics Bureau. Later we'll break down the Premier's meeting with the Lieutenant Governor as he launches his election campaign. Plus more, we will be right back.
Thinking about selling online, most people give up long before they ever get a store open. Quickie.com changes that. Pick a template, add your products, and you are open for business. $10 a month, that is the whole price, no setup fees, and no cut of your sales. And there is the 10 on 10 guarantee. If you are not live in 10 minutes, your first month is on us. Mugs, apparel, crafts, coffee, if you can photograph it, you can sell it. Visit quickie.com and open your store today. 10 minutes from now, you could be in business. I'm Tessa from GMNA Studios. Welcome back. Premier Christine Fréchette will meet the Quebec Lieutenant Governor tomorrow to officially launch the province's election campaign. The meeting will be televised live from the Parliament building, where the Lieutenant Governor will read the proclamation and hand the writ to the Premier. Under Quebec law, the campaign will run for 90 days before ballots are printed. The ceremony, scheduled for Thursday in Quebec City, marks the constitutional trigger that opens the campaign period, allowing parties to begin advertising and canvassing. Fréchette, who took office in April, is expected to outline her government's priorities before the field opens to challengers. The Lieutenant Governor's signature on the writ will set the campaign clock in motion, with voting slated for later next year. Political analysts note that the timing follows a pre-campaign lull, and parties are positioning themselves for a race. Voters can expect a summer of rallies, debates, and policy announcements as the campaign unfolds.
Quebec Solidaire proposes a bulk purchase program for school supplies in Montreal, aiming to cut family costs by $60 per child. The initiative seeks to ease back-to-school expenses. Colette Barbeau has the full story.
Quebec Solidaire is rolling out a plan to buy school supplies in bulk and hand them out to students across the province. The party says the collective purchasing model would cut the price of basic items such as notebooks, pencils, and glue sticks, saving families roughly $60 for each child. Organizers will work with suppliers to negotiate lower rates, then allocate the stocked kits to schools based on enrollment numbers. The scheme is slated to launch in the upcoming school year, with the goal of easing the financial strain on Montreal families as they prepare for the new term. Officials hope the approach will prove scalable and could be expanded to other regions if it proves effective. Colette Barbeau, GMNA News, Montreal. Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, leader of the Parti Québécois, announced yesterday that he has rejected Vincent Marissal's candidacy for the Taschereau riding, invoking a breach of the National Assembly's ethics code. The decision, revealed on the eve of the upcoming provincial election, removes Marissal from the party's slate in Quebec City's Central District. Plamondon said the move follows an internal review that concluded the former member failed to meet the conduct standards expected of elected officials. Opposition parties have yet to comment, while election officials confirm the change will be reflected in the official candidate list before voting begins. The ruling underscores the party's commitment to ethical compliance as the campaign enters its final week. The announcement came late Wednesday afternoon, just hours before the final candidate registration deadline closed. Party officials said a replacement will be sought to ensure voters in Taschereau have a listed candidate by poll day.
Télé-Québec announced that starting Monday, September 7th, its flagship dramas, documentaries, and children's series will be added to 3 competing subscription services, Crave, Illico Plus, and 2TV Extra. The public broadcaster says the move aims to reach viewers who prefer streaming over traditional over-the-air channels, while still keeping its core schedule on the provincial network. Executives from the broadcaster emphasized that the new agreements preserve French-language content and will not alter advertising policies. Subscribers to the three platforms can expect a dedicated Tele-Quebec library to appear within the next few weeks, giving families across Quebec more options to watch local productions on demand. Officials also highlighted that the expansion supports the broadcaster's mandate to promote Quebecois storytelling and ensures that Francophone creators reach a broader digital audience. The rollout will begin simultaneously on all three services, marking the first time the network's programming is widely available beyond its own digital portal.
Specialist doctors continue shifting between Quebec public hospitals and private clinics, with 121 disaffiliation authorizations granted to 71 physicians and a request denied under the 2025 law. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
Specialist doctors are still hopping between the public health system and private clinics, even as Santé Quebec issues short-term disaffiliation permits. In July, the agency approved 121 temporary authorizations covering 71 different specialists, while turning down a single request. The approvals allow physicians to step out of the provincial network for limited periods before returning to public duties. This flow follows a law passed in April of 2025 that aimed to curb the back-and-forth movement of specialists between the two sectors. Officials say the temporary measures keep patient access steady while the new rules take effect across the province. The Health Ministry says the approach is a stopgap while long-term staffing solutions are being developed. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Montreal.
Let's get a look at your evening forecast with our meteorologist tonight.
A stagnant high-pressure ridge and a gentle southwest jet keep Montreal dry and comfortably warm this evening. On this date, the all-time heat peak reached 33.1 degrees Celsius in 2021, a spike that rode a lingering heat dome across the province. The cold extreme fell to 9.3 degrees Celsius in 2017, when an Arctic surge slipped southward under a weak ridge. By contrast, today's climatological average for late August hovers around 22 degrees high and 16 degrees low. Our current readings sit comfortably between those normals, underscoring a modest but typical warm late summer pattern. The live radar screen is completely blank across the southern Quebec basin. No echo is tracing across the St. Lawrence corridor, and the western lakes show no lingering convection. That emptiness reflects the prevailing high-pressure ridge that suppresses lift, while the gentle southwest jet streams the dry air aloft. With no precipitation in sight, the next band of moisture is not expected to arrive for at least 12 hours, leaving the city clear into night. At 6 p.m., the city sits under clear skies with a temperature of 24 degrees and a light southerly breeze of 8 kilometers per hour. Pressure remains high and steady, while a modest southwest jet at 58 kilometers per hour rides above the 500 hectopascal level, reinforcing the ridge. These ingredients keep clouds at bay and limit any nighttime cooling, so temperatures will dip only to 16 degrees by sunrise. The UV index reads 5, a moderate level for the lingering twilight. Winds stay below 25 kilometers per hour throughout the night, so no wind chill concerns arise. No weather alerts are active, allowing a tranquil evening before tomorrow's overcast shift. Looking ahead, Thursday brings a high of 25 degrees and a low of 17 under a thick overcast veil, as a slow-moving low-pressure trough nudges the ridge northward. Friday clears dramatically, with sunshine returning and temperatures settling around 22 degrees high and 15 low, thanks to renewed subsidence under the ridge. Saturday remains mainly clear, holding a high of 23 and a low of 15, while the jet stream stays aloft, limiting any moisture influx. Sunday reintroduces cloud cover and a 25% chance of rain, with a high of 24 and a low of 17 as the trough deepens, bringing a modest lift. Monday finishes the stretch with a clear sky, 23 degrees high and 16 low, as high pressure reasserts itself. The pattern swings stay moderate, offering a balanced week. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic is clear. World Press Photo opens today, and Bryce Pickford lands at number 13 on the Canadians under 25 list. We will be right back.
Thinking about selling online, most people give up long before they ever get a store open. Quick.com changes that. Pick a template, add your products, and you are open for business. $10 a month, that is the whole price, no setup fees, and no cut of your sales. And there is the 10 on 10 guarantee. If you are not live in 10 minutes, your first month is on us. Mugs, apparel, crafts, coffee. If you can photograph it, you can sell it. Visit quickecom.com and open your store today. 10 minutes from now, you could be in business. I'm Tessa from gmna Studios. All major routes are moving freely this evening. Autoroute Quinns is clear from the Turcotte interchange to the South Shore. Autoroute Trent E1 shows no slowdown through the Descaries corridor. Boulevard St. Laurent, Rue Sherbrooke and Rue St. Denis all report smooth traffic. The Champlain Bridge and the Jacques Cartier crossing have no queues. With no incidents on the road network, drivers can expect a typical evening pattern. Expect the usual rise in volume near downtown as office workers head home, but no specific bottlenecks are reported. The commuter rail lines run on schedule and the metro system remains fully operational. If you're heading toward the Plateau or the East End, expect normal speeds and plenty of green lights. The southwest sector around Côte St. Lucie also reports free flow, making it a good time for a quick errand. Keep an eye on any weather changes later in the night, but for now the streets are clear.
World Press Photo opens today at Marché Bonsecours, showcasing 150 prize-winning images that capture the world's most urgent stories, perfect for a quick cultural fix on a Wednesday. It's a chance to see the narratives that shape our world all under one roof. If you're craving spectacle, Cirque du Soleil's summer tour is lighting up stages across the city, delivering the acrobatics and imagination the brand is known for. The show promises moments that linger long after the final bow. The pulse of MUTEK continues through tonight in the Cartier des Spectacles, where audiovisual performances and workshops keep Montreal at the forefront of digital art. Expect immersive soundscapes that push the boundaries of what music can be. And from August 28 to 30, the Art Tattoo Festival at the Grand Quai will let you watch tattoo masters create living canvases in real time. Whether you're snapping photos, chasing thrills, or planning tomorrow's night out, Montreal's summer calendar is humming. And now here's Jason with sports.
Summer heat fuels a packed Habs preview, from rising prospects to division challenges. Right-shot defenseman Bryce Pickford burst onto the junior scene, tallying 45 goals and 83 points in 55 games. Being the only blue liner among the CHL's top 10 goal scorers and tied for second in WHL goals signals a rare offensive upside that could reshape Montreal's power play future. Camp is a proving ground for 5 hopefuls, with Alex Newhook eyeing a bigger role after his playoff surge and Brendan Gallagher embracing fatherhood as a reason to stay in Montreal. The battle for the coveted 6th defense spot intensifies, forcing veterans to defend their minutes. Florian Exekad's rise blends bruising grit with unexpected scoring, as he logged 24 goals in his Laval Rocket rookie year and added 17 goals with 12 assists this season. That offensive punch from a hard-nosed blue liner makes him a legitimate contender for a regular NHL roster spot. The Atlantic Division reads like a group of death, each rival packing distinct strengths that will test Montreal's consistency. With Nick Suzuki now ranked 9th best center by NHL Network, the Habs must lean on his playmaking while navigating a schedule that pits them against relentless competition. Owen Beck's trajectory confirms a steady climb from prospect to NHL contributor, highlighted by his first Canadiens goal last season and 27 games of top-level experience over the past 2 years. That blend of confidence and familiarity positions him as a reliable depth option moving forward. Nick Suzuki's ascent to 9th on NHL Network center rankings, up from 10th a year ago, underscores his growing influence in Montreal's offense. As the Habs eye a deeper playoff push, Suzuki's elevated status promises more responsibility in driving the team's scoring and face-off dominance. Stay tuned, Habs fans, the road ahead promises non-stop excitement.
Thanks, Jason. Good Food, the Montreal-based meal kit company headquartered on St. Laurent Boulevard, is at a crossroads. On August 5, 2026, the court granted the business an initial order of creditor protection, giving it breathing room to explore a sale or fresh investment. While the restructuring unfolds, Good Food will keep delivering fresh, chef-crafted meals to kitchens across Canada and will protect roughly 230 jobs. For the neighborhood, the company's continued presence means local suppliers keep a steady outlet and families retain a convenient, healthy dining option. Good Food matters to Montreal because it proves our city's entrepreneurial spirit can adapt, sustain and feed the community even in tough times. Its resilience inspires other local innovators to keep dreaming and building. Up next, we'll reveal the tragic loss of a 27-year-old tree trimmer after a power line accident. We will be right back.
Thinking about selling online, most people give up long before they ever get a store open. Quickie.com changes that. Pick a template, add your products, and you are open for business. $10 a month, that is the whole price, no setup fees, and no cut of your sales. And there is the 10 on 10 guarantee. If you are not live in 10 minutes, your first month is on us. Mugs, apparel, crafts, coffee, if you can photograph it, you can sell it. Visit quickie.com and open your store today. 10 minutes from now, you could be in business. I'm Tessa from GMNA Studios. Welcome back. 27-year-old tree trimmer was electrocuted while trimming near a low-voltage Hydro-Quebec line in Montreal on August 26, 2026. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
A 27-year-old tree trimmer died on August 26, 2026, after his equipment contacted a low-voltage Hydro-Quebec power line while he was pruning branches on a residential street in Montreal. First responders found the worker unconscious at the base of the tree and, despite attempts to revive him, pronounced him dead at the scene. Hydro-Quebec officials confirmed the line was active and that the contact caused a lethal shock. Low-voltage distribution lines like the one involved often run close to trees and sidewalks, making careful clearance essential for safety. The incident underscores the risks faced by crews working near live electrical infrastructure, and an investigation is underway to determine whether safety protocols were followed. No other workers were injured. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Montreal.
Montreal's Auditor General says the city is missing its 15% landfill target, with most residential waste still heading to dumps and the deadline less than 4 years away. Colette Barbeau has the full story.
Right now, trucks are still hauling the bulk of Montreal's household trash to the city's main landfill site on the island's east side, a stark contrast to the city's promise to keep landfill disposal under 15%. The Auditor General's latest review shows that, despite a push to boost recycling and composting, more than half of the waste generated by residents continues to be buried. The city had aimed to hit the 15% threshold within the next few years, but the audit indicates it is now facing a timeline of less than 4 years to close the gap. Officials say they are revisiting collection programs, while community groups urge faster action. Colette Barbeau, GMNA News, Montreal.
Dolly Parton, 80, died on August 25, 2026. She rose from beginnings to become a country music icon, releasing her debut album Hello, I'm Dolly in 1967 and earning her first #1 with Joshua in 1971. The singer-songwriter's voice carried beyond the charts, and she reached a new audience starring in the 1980 film 9 to 5. In 1986, she opened Dollywood, creating a beloved destination that blended entertainment with her Appalachian roots. Over a career that gathered 11 Grammy Awards, she gave countless songs that celebrated love, resilience, and joy. Her generosity and advocacy left a lasting imprint on artists and fans alike, reminding us that music can lift world. She will be remembered with warmth and gratitude. Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the local sunset. Tonight's raid on a synthetic drug lab in Griffintown reminded us how quickly the city can change. I'm Mark Beaumont, and I look forward to bringing you more of the stories that shape our neighborhoods tomorrow. Stay safe and see you then.